Hello everyone and welcome back to Tea Time Crochet. Today we're going to be making this messy bun beanie, or ponytail beanie, however you choose to say it. But it has a hole in the top for your messy bun or your ponytail to come out. And this is just, a really basic hat. We have some chains and some double crochets and some single crochets. So you could probably, whip it up fairly quickly, probably about an hour, maybe even less, depending on how fast you crochet. But it's a great beginner's project. The things that you're going to need are some yarn. I'm going to be using this purple yarn, and it is a Red Heart Super Saver, as usual. And it's in the color Orchid. It's a worsted weight number 4, and it's calling for a 5.5 millimeter hook. But I'm going to be using a 5 millimeter crochet hook because that's what I know I need for my hats. You're going to need some scissors and a yarn needle with a large eye. You're also going to need your head size chart. We've talked about this in past tutorials. You can find it, you can just type in head sizing chart on Google and it'll pop up with a million different charts. These are just the ones that I chose. So you're just going to need to know the circumference of your head, or the head that you're going to be making the hat for. So like this one here, it has all these different sizes here, and it has the head circumference, the hat circumference, and the hat height, and the crown diameter. So what you're going to need to do is you're going to need to look at the head circumference and find out which hat will fit the size that you're making it for. So I know my head is about 21 inches in circumference, so I could use a teen size hat for my head. So I know that the crown of my hat needs to be somewhere around 6 inches to 6.5 inches. Keeping in mind that crochet does stretch quite a bit, but if you're wanting a looser hat or a slouchy type hat, you're just going to want to go up in size, probably one whole size. So you're going to need a measuring tape to measure your head, and then you're going to need a measuring tape to measure the crown portion of your hat. This hat's going to be a little bit different because we have a hole in the middle. So, but it should be able to measure exactly the same. As long as we're somewhere in that ballpark of where your goal is, you'll be fine. Okay, to start off with, we're going to make a slip knot. And we're going to chain 24. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24. Alright, so we have a chain here, and we're going to slip stitch to join into the beginning of this chain. You want to make sure that it's not twisted anywhere, so it's nice and flat. So just like that. Just going to adjust my lamp a little bit. It's quite early in the morning here, and I'm a little running behind on my tutorial this week, so I got up a little bit early and need to work on it. So I hope that that lighting is a little bit better. Okay, so for our beginning double crochet, it's always going to be, I'm going to be using the same stitch. So I'm going to chain one and then just go and do a regular double crochet. So to start off our row here, I've chained one, and I'm just going to go into that first stitch and do a double crochet. And I'm just going to pretend that that chain one's not there. And then I'm going to put one double crochet in every stitch around for a total of 24 stitches. So I'm going to go ahead and go do that, and then I will meet up with you when I have completed my last one. Okay, so I've completed my 24, and I went back and counted to make sure. So for our second row, we're going to start our increases. So we're going to chain one, and then we're going to go back into that same stitch and do a double crochet. And then into the next stitch, we're going to put 2 double crochets. So it's 1 and 2. And then in the next stitch, we're going to put 1 double crochet. And that is our repeat for this round. So it's 1 double crochet, and then in the next stitch is an increase, which is 2 double crochets, and then 1 double crochet, and then 2 double crochets. So our next stitch here will be an increase stitch, which will be 2 double crochets into that stitch. And then in the next stitch will be 1. So you're just going to repeat that all the way around until you get back to where you started. And then I will meet up with you when I have finished all of mine. Okay, so I finished my last double crochet here. Whoops. And it is an increase stitch, and I'm just going to slip stitch to the top of this first double crochet to join. And then for this next round, it's another increase round. We're just going to start by chaining 1. And remember, we're just going to forget that that chain 1's even there and go right back in and do a double crochet. So just like that. And then we're going to put 1 double crochet in the next stitch. And then in the next stitch is an increase. We're going to put 2 double crochets in it. And that is our repeat for this round. So the next stitch will be 1 double crochet, and in the next stitch 1 double crochet, and in the next stitch 2 double crochets. So we've added 1 more regular double crochet in between our increases than the round before. So we're just going to repeat that all the way around, and I will meet up with you when I am on my last stitch. Okay, so I've made it to my last stitch, and it's an increase stitch. So I'm going to put 2 double crochets in it. And then I'm going to slip stitch to the top of this first double crochet here to join. And this is what you should have so far. See, it's starting to take the hat shape. Okay, so we have one more row of increases for the teen adult size hat. To measure it, you're just going to need to try and flatten it out as best as you can. So just like that. And then you would just measure it across. So I'm at 5 inches. One more round should put me pretty close to where I need to be, which is, 6 to 6.5 inches. But that's how you measure the crown portion to get the size of your hat. Now for this round, we're going to chain 1 as usual, and we're going to go right back into that first stitch right there and do a double crochet. And then we're going to do, in the next stitch, we're going to put 1 double crochet. And then in the next stitch, we're going to put 1 double crochet. And then in the next stitch, we're going to do our increase, which is 2 double crochets. And that is our repeat for this round. So we're gradually adding 1 more stitch in between our increases as we go. If you need to do a bigger size on your next round, all you would do is add 4 double crochets and then an increase, and then just repeat that. And then if you need to go even bigger than that, it would be 5 and then 6 and then 7, but that's just, the basic concept is you add 1 more stitch for the next round. You have to excuse my voice this morning, it's a little croaky. Okay, so for the next stitch, we're going to put 1 double crochet, and then in the next stitch 1 double crochet, and then in the next stitch 1 double crochet for a total of 3. And then in the next stitch is our increase, so we're going to put 2 double crochets. And we're just going to repeat that all the way around, and I will meet up with you when I have got to my last stitch. Okay, so I've made it back to my last stitch, and it is an increase stitch, so I'm going to put 2 double crochets in it. And then I'm going to slip stitch to join in this beginning double crochet into the top of it. And then I'm just going to kind of flatten this out the best that I can and measure again. So that's roughly around 6 inches. It's probably a little bit bigger than that, but it's not wanting to lay very flat. That's a little bit over 6 inches. So I'm going to stop increasing here. Like I said, if you want to do a slouch hat or just a bigger size, you just keep adding 1 more double crochet in between your increase stitches. But for me, I'm done with my increases. So for rows, for my hat, for rows 5 through 11, I'm going to be doing just 1 double crochet in every stitch. And this is where your chart's going to come in handy. because you'll need to look at the hat height. So the hat height for a teen is between 9 and 10 inches. So I know I need to be somewhere between 8.5 to 10 inches for it to fit properly. I went ahead and worked out the pattern for my size, so I know exactly how many rows I need. But you'll just need to figure out the hat height of yours, and then you can try it on as you go and fit it to where you like your hats to lay. I like my hats to cover my ears because it's quite cold where I live in the winter, and I really just like to have that extra warmth covering my ears. Okay, so to start round 5, we're going to chain 1, and we're going to do a double crochet into that first stitch again, and then we're just going to put 1 double crochet in every stitch around. What is going on with that one? So just put 1 double crochet in every stitch. So just like that, and I'm going to be doing it for a total of 11 rounds. That's starting from the very beginning all the way to the 11th round, and then we will start the single crochet border. You may have more or less. If you want your hat to be smaller or bigger, this is where you need to be doing that in these sections. You could just add more rows or less rows. If you're doing a bigger size or a smaller size, you're either going to need more rows in this section or less rows. But if you are making it for a person that has like a longer head, then you can easily just adjust this pattern in this section right here. It's kind of just trying it on and kind of guessing about the height that you need, because for me, I'm just making a basic size, which is the size that I know will fit me or my daughters. But if you're making it for someone else, you just kind of got to guess at the size that you're really needing. But like I said, this is going to be where you're going to use your chart and make your best judgment on how tall you need your hat to be, which is the hat height in your chart. I'm going to be doing mine a little bit shorter than this says because I'm adding my single crochet border, and then at the very end it will probably be somewhere around that height. I didn't actually measure this teal one that I made. I actually went off one of my other beanies, and I used it as a guide for my sizing. So yeah, this hat here, if I had like this beginning stitch, would probably be around 8 inches long, which is the size that I need for my head. You could go to 9 inches if you're not sure, but I've made so many hats that I know that the length of my head's a little bit smaller than what the chart says. So I know I need to go a little bit smaller. But I would just probably stick close to the first number on your chart for the hat height, and just go off of that. But like I said, for the next rounds 5 through 11, you're just going to put 1 double crochet in every stitch around, and then I will meet up with you when I have completed all of mine, and I am on row 11. Okay, I've completed my 11 rows, and that is starting from this very beginning round all the way to the round I just completed is a total of 11 rows. I cannot talk today to save my life. So this is basically what it should look like so far. You should have a good portion of the body of the hat. So now we're going to work on our single crochet band. So I'm going to chain 1, and I'm going to go back into that first stitch with a single crochet. So just like that. And I'm going to put 1 single crochet in every stitch around. So I'm going to do that all the way around the hat, and we are going to do that for a total of 5 rows. So you're going to put 1 single crochet in every stitch around, and then when you get back to where you started, you're going to slip stitch to join into the top of the single crochet, and then do a total of 5 rows of the single crochet. So I'm going to go ahead and do my 5 rows, and then I will meet up with you for the next step. Okay, here is my last stitch right here. I'm just going to slip stitch to join to the top of that single crochet, that first one right there, and then I'm going to fasten off because we are finished with that portion. And then the only other thing that we need to do is we need to just put a row of single crochet around the top right here just to neaten up this edge. And I'm just going to bring my yarn through this first stitch here, kind of where my seam's at, and I'm just going to tie it on. Okay, and then I'm going to go back into that stitch right there, and I'm going to work over both of these tails as I'm going, and I'm going to pull up a loop and just chain 1, and then I'm going to go back into that and do a single crochet, and then I'm just going to put 1 single crochet in each one of these stitches around, working over those tails as I go. You want to make sure you have a pretty good tension here. It's not too loose and not too tight. That way your hole doesn't shrink or sag. So if you just have an even tension, you should be good to go. And then there's my last stitch right there. I'm just going to slip stitch to join the top of this first single crochet. Oops. And then I'm just going to fasten off. So the last things that you'll need to do is just hide your ends. I'm going to real quickly measure for you, just to give you an idea. And get it to lay flat. So I was about right. I'm about 8 inches. Now keep in mind that you don't have this beginning round here. If you were to do a normal hat, you would have a beginning round here, and that would make your hat a little bit longer. But since we have, you know, the hole here, you're still going to have that space there for the head. But you know, 8-9 inches is good. I know this hat will fit me, and it will fit both of my daughters. We're about the same head size. The only other thing that I'm going to do is I have this flower here, and this is a tutorial on my channel. You could find it on my channel page. I believe it's medium flower. I think so, but this is a tutorial I did quite a while ago, and it just happens to be the same color that this hat is, so I think I'm going to attach that. But other than that, all you'll need to do is just hide your ends, and you're ready to go. So thanks for watching. Have a great day.